Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the NuWave Leadership YouTube channel. And here we are again, Vishnupriya, Aristo, and myself, Sabrina Lindner, the founders of NuWave Leadership. And we have another very interesting and exciting question for you today around 5D living. I'll hand it over to Vishnupriya to tell us which question we ask the collective of one next.
Yes, so this was the second question that we asked in our session 2, which I guess here it is question 18, I guess. So let's get it on. This was around body pain and illnesses and overall, all sorts of different diseases that we get in human body. So the question was the body pain or different diseases or illnesses. So in my case, I had fibroids prior to pregnancy. It was very small. And then during pregnancy, interestingly, it just, along with the baby, the fibroids also kind of grew up much bigger. So after delivery, I was left with this huge shock, I should say, that the fibroids had grown so big, and the doctors were like, okay, we do not know what to do. It cannot be operated. Maybe we should wait for a few months. Da, 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 da. It was a huge drama around this entire topic of fibroids for me. I should say, honestly, after delivery, this was such a huge topic for me, at least for a month or two, until we actually got this answers from COO. But after all these answers, my worry or my number of thoughts around this has totally reduced, and any emotions that I might have had has almost released. Now it's all a question of, which direction the energy is pointing me towards. So I should say all of these answers with anybody with any sort of, pain, illness, diseases in the physical body. This is such a relief to even know this answer. So let me complete the question here. So I was asking, in my case, let's say the fibroids or just body pain for my husband. So at that time, my husband had some body pain. So I was using that as an example. How are these stagnant energies created in the human body? Isn't it interesting that I'm already using 5D language there? Understanding that all this pain and illness and disease is simply stagnant energies in the body. But my question is, how is this created? So let's see what the COO answers. Over to you, Sabrina.
Yes, get ready for another profound, longer answer. Yes, it is simply a representation of what we spoke about yesterday. So if you haven't watched the previous question and previous questions, just do so. It will really help you as well to understand that the contamination is higher and the purification process is being slowed down. Typically, it happens when you are vibrating, as you would say it, at a certain frequency. When you have the noise, the volume of the noise really tuned up and you cannot sense yourself as an energetic being, you can rather sense yourself as either a physical being, that is when you feel physical pain. So you are kind of disconnected from the truth that it is not physical, it is energetical. And then if there is the mental pain, like a lot of worries, a lot of negative thoughts. Again, negative is just something that you humans like to use. But a lot of thoughts that would rather slow down the purification or aid the contamination, actually. So then again, the same thing happens. Because the noise is so turned up, you are unable to connect to the truth that you are energetic and not, in fact, like a thought body. And the same is true for emotions. The emotions that you feel disconnect you again from the truth that it is all just a flow of energy. So if we want to speak in human terms, it's like a harder, heavier, stickier ball of energetic mass that is created through this. And then once you realize that you can reconnect to the truth that you are all just energy, that's when you can slowly release the sticky, heavy mass that the energy is sort of becoming. And the important thing is to not do it from a place of, again, contaminated ideas around this. It is not about fixing anything. It's simply about aiding the flow again. And when you come from that perspective, you can look at it as something beautiful. It's almost like saying like, oh, how amazing that I can help the purification of my energy. Because we are all one, so it's sort of yours. Because you are that energy. That I can actually support it in flowing nicely again. Right, I'm trying to explain it in a way that a human being could grasp it. So think of your fibroids with a lot of love and affection, even for whatever has created them. Even for whatever you have been feeling as the energy that you are right now. Just bring in a lot of, how would you say it? It is like just pure love is the closest to what it is, for that without any judgment. Even if you feel resistance, then accept that just a small clockage can be eased out and released. Even if you feel that you can't do it, then that's fine. You do it just the next day again, and you just take it step by step until you feel that the flow of energy is there again. But what you humans do is that you come from a place of tension. It's like, I want to be healed now. I want it to be a different way. This is not how it's supposed to be. And what that does is actually increase the stickiness, the clogging of the energy even more. So totally letting that go, or how something is supposed to be, the key element in the process of speeding up the purification. So in your case, or the case of your husband, or the case of anyone else, it is very good to be honest about how high the volume of your thoughts is and how intensely you can feel the sticky emotions that actually slow down the energy flow. Wow. Okay. So many thoughts running through me as I read this answer, but I hand it over to Vishnupriya to share your perspective, please.
Absolutely. As I said, that was a profound answer. So, first of all, me coming from a holistic healing background, being a professional healer and therapist for at least 5 years prior to receiving all these answers, I was always looking at any kind of pain and illness. Interestingly, all this awareness came in later after I listened to all these answers, which was that I was looking at pain and illness and diseases as something wrong, right? Because I was a healer, and everybody who comes to me comes with a pain and illness, and therefore, if any pain or illness shows up in my body, it would be like, oh no, there's something wrong with me. I have to fix my thoughts. I have to change my belief systems. Something is wrong with my ancestral background. Something I have to change. Something to do with karma. There's so many stories that looks like I have learned and gotten through my journey of life. And it was interesting from that one easy answer and everything that COO has been sharing so far, all of those labels and deeper meanings and significance that I had created in my head around pain and illness had to just simply fly away. And it all boiled down to, from the answer, as you can see, all that they again tell us is that, imagine the river flow and all those pebbles and little stones that's blocking the flow. So obviously, there are certain, let's say, slow moving thoughts and emotions, let's say, in me, which I feel almost every human being would have it. And then, as they say, it's not about fixing it, it's about looking at it from, oh, yeah, yes, I'm angry now, for example. Let's say I'm angry. And the process has become like being aware of it. Yes, I'm angry now, and it's okay. It's just a slow moving energy. And I'm like, there's a beauty in that too, right? So the more we look at it from that beauty in the diversity, beauty in the slow moving energies as well, the easier it became. There was no more blaming of myself or judging of myself or trying to fix myself, finding what's wrong with me, all of those processes. Interestingly, as I had been, in that journey, looks like I had somehow programmed my husband as well in a way to look at what's wrong with him whenever some kind of pain or cold or something that shows up for him. So this was an interesting process of even these answers being shared with him, just letting him know that, hey, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, I had all these learnings that it is wrong and I had somehow transferred it to you, but I'm this person now reprogramming him, so to speak, telling him that, hey, there's nothing wrong with your body pain. It's just a little bit of slow moving energy. Do something that you really love, listen to some music, take some rest, have a quick nap, go for maybe a game or whatever he really loves to do, and it will naturally just go away, right? So that was literally, that became my prescription after I listened to all these interesting answers from COO. So my major takeaway, if any of you listening to this have any kind of pain, illness, diseases in your body, first one I feel is, the answers they give as love and affection. Give it the love and affection. This is what I started doing with my fibroids. That all of a sudden it was like, this is just a slow moving energy and it's okay to be there. Can I just let it be there? That became my mantra. Let it be so. So what? It's just a slow moving energy, which I now can term it as, free flow acceptance of it, that it's okay to be there. There's nothing wrong about it. I feel that's the first step in the process. And then the second step I would say is let go of any worry, any stickiness around it. Once you are already in that process of let it be so, I'm totally okay with it, automatically all these stickier thoughts and emotions will automatically start flowing through you. And once that is there, then you can bring in the love and affection towards that body part or towards that illness itself, that, hey, lots of love, that's okay, even the reason why it's there, I can love that as well. So bringing in that pure love, as they call it, but you really might have to do it step by step. If you try to force yourself to love it, again, it becomes too much stickier thoughts and emotions around it. So it's nice to take it step by step, really slow, as they give us the instructions. Do it, try it for the first time, and if it doesn't work, let it go. And maybe another day you can kind of, bring that in again. So really going in a free flow direction, just knowing that there's nothing wrong and let it be so, nothing is going to affect our living, let's say. So that was my approach. I wonder if I didn't mention any of that. Yeah. So like, not going into that space that they have mentioned, I want to be healed now, this is not supposed to be the way it is. So letting go of all those little perspectives that we might have around it would also really help. Over to you, Sabrina.
Yeah, it's a very physical well-being is a very, very big topic for human beings, right? And we have touched on it in an earlier question, and there are more questions to come around healing and illnesses and all that, because it is such a big topic for us humans. I also came from a space previously in my past life, before 5D living, I should say, where it was wrong to be unwell, where it was wrong not to be the sporty person that I am, where it was wrong to have a certain body that is not a sporty body. And letting go of all that is also part of, the releasing anything around illnesses or physical pain. I remember there was a time in my life where I used to get sick for like 2 weeks once a year. That was all I would allow myself. I was in a management role at that point, and it was clearly a sign of burnout. But I had a lot of judgment around that. It's like, if I get sick, I can't take it. I'm not a strong person. I'm not, a dedicated enough person. I'm not living the right lifestyle and all that. So all that noise, all those emotions and thoughts obviously increase even our our sensation of being unwell. But once we can look at it like that, it's just an energetic flow. It, from my experience, it just releases. If there's nothing more, I don't have to think about it. I can just accept it. It kind of just releases. But even if it doesn't, it should still be fine. And that's kind of the tricky bit, I feel, for us humans, because we usually go into that forceful perspective, like, okay, I'm going to love it now. I'm going to show my illness or my symptoms affection so that they can go. But that's how it's not going to work, right? Because there's still then that judgment around it has to happen now. And if it doesn't happen now, there's again something wrong with me. So that's why what Vishnupriya just said is also so important, what the COO pointed out. Take it a step at a time. Time is really irrelevant once you get into the 5D living space. It means even if it takes years, it should still be fine. Even if it takes 5 hours or half an hour, it's all good. It's perfect. There's the beauty in that entire process. So give yourself some time to digest that perspective and try it out and see what really shifts for you in how you can look at your body and whatever might be going on there. Anything to add, Vishnupriya?
Yes. So just to summarize that entire topic here, I know it's kind of a bigger pill for us to swallow there. So just to simplify it, step one, if you do have any pain, illness, or you know of somebody who knows it, who has it, step one is first of all just being okay with it, that there's nothing. So letting go of any judgments around it, that it's wrong, that I have to fix it, heal it, letting go of that, and just saying that, it's just a slow moving energy. There's a beauty in that as well. And I'm okay with that. Let it be so. That I feel is a step one. And step two, once you have reached that place, slowly moving into that space of sending it pure love and affection. Right. So that's, I would say, step two. And then step three, kind of what I have been seeing myself doing is the answer to the previous question, which is just being in the flow, just being in the moment, finding certain activities and practices that can really help you feel that flow of energy. When you're doing that, automatically, if the pain or the illness had to be healed, it will automatically be healed, right? So that's an automatic process. Healing, in this case, the word healing is just an automatic process. So not going into the space of I have to heal it, but simply being in that flow every present moment, going back into the ease, joy, love, and abundance mode and just flowing in that direction. And just like how Sabrina says, it might take 5 years, it might take 2 hours, having no point of view around the entire healing process itself. So I hope that answer helped. We are going to see you in the next video. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of this content, please do reach out to us. We have the interesting 5D living experiment, and you can join us. And we are looking forward to seeing you soon. See you soon.
See you soon.